So after qualifying, it's Sebastian Vettel leading a Ferrari 1-2, getting his first pole position of the year and once again beating Rosberg on a Saturday. Daniel Ricciardo did well to get his Red Bull into third, especially considering he was the only driver who managed to get within 9/10 of Vettel's astonishing lap, and he was just a quarter second slower than Rosberg as well. Aarava also grabs a second-row start at his home Grand Prix and will be the leading Brit in the race, edging out his teammate by over 3/10, Pascal down in 7th. Ricciardo's young teammate Max Verstappen couldn't manage the same sort of pace as Danny, but could still be a threat to the podium from 5th on the grid. Meanwhile, Stoffel Van Dorn managed to go over 2.5 quicker than Hamilton, despite Lewis having the home track advantage and support of the crowd. Again, Williams featured both cars in Q3, however were more than a second slower than the Mercs and McLarens when the session concluded.
What's going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to my F1 MyDriver Career Mode, episode number 9 today for Season 2 at the British Grand Prix. Obviously, my home Grand Prix and probably a lot of yours home Grand Prix, obviously, apart from the people who are not from the UK, but that was obvious. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, we're here for episode number 9. We're in 4th place, so pretty okay qualifying considering the pace of the Ferraris. They're absolutely blitzing it today, really on it like a car bonnet. You know, they worked on upgrades from Hungary. Obviously, it wasn't the best race for them. They got quite unlucky in the race, but right now, you got to say, they're looking pretty strong. 1-2 in qualifying. We've got Ricciardo there in 3rd place, so hopefully we can try and battle him today. Brilliantly, the McLaren's behind us, so that's going to be great for the race today, but I've got to say, thank you guys again for the support on this series so far. Episode number 8 of the Hungarian Grand Prix. If you've missed that, go check that out. Absolutely awesome race. I had a lot of fun to actually drive that race, and it was great to see in the comments that you guys really enjoyed that one, and it was great once again just to read through those. So thank you again. So going on to this race, going to be a 2-stop race, option prime, but being the UK, you never know, there could be some rain, so we'll watch out for that. But anyway, we go to the British Grand Prix. 26 laps ahead of us at the Silverstone circuit. We go to 5 red lights, and we are away, bogging down as we have a lot of the time this season in the Mercedes. Verstappen goes up into 4th place. Van Dorn will try it on the left. We'll go into McLaren sandwich there into turn 1 as Hamilton tried it on the right-hand side, but we've kept 5th place there, but we've lost 1 to Verstappen, who's now on the back of his teammate Ricciardo, who's subsequently on the back of Rosberg. As we cut later on to lap 1, though, Sector 3, Ricciardo trying a move maybe on Rosberg up ahead, as we can see Vettel already getting quite a sizable lead there out in front. So Sebastian Vettel trying to do what he's done so many times in the past in like 2013 and previous years. At the moment right now, we've got a bit of a 4-car, maybe even 5 cars. Hamilton's right behind me, training at the moment. So this could get to Hungary levels of interesting right now, and we could pick up some places if people fight over and touch each other ahead of us. But as we go on towards the Luffield section, we've got company right behind us. Lewis Hamilton moves to the left-hand side of the circuit. No DRS, just pure Honda power at the moment. As we go into the left-hander, swoop round side by side. I'll leave him in the room. We'll go deep into that corner through Luffield now, and we'll go side by side. I'll try my best to push out Hamilton, but he's having none of it. Us two Brits fighting hard here for the British crowd on the left. They're probably roaring at the moment as Hamilton goes round the outside of me, but we'll try our best to keep in the slipstream of Hamilton's. We can see both Red Bulls fighting Rosberg into the old turn 1. We go right past Hamilton there, going 3 wide there, the 2 Red Bulls and Ferraris, and we just get a brilliant exit off that corner, fly up the inside of Verstappen, side by side with Ricciardo, through Maggots and Beckett's. We made contact with Rosberg as we go through the last part of Beckett's onto the back straight. We got so much momentum there through Beckett's that Rosberg was literally like a turtle compared to us, and we hit his rear tyre. Thankfully, no damage done, and now we've got the slipstream. We'll try and go around the outside as Nico gives us a little bit of room there, just about. We try and hang around the outside. It's not going to work. Rosberg will just get it on the exit, but we'll try again into the chicane. We'll go a little bit down the inside. Hopefully, Rosberg goes a little bit wide. We'll try and hang it around the outside. Rosberg's going to come back, and he's made contact with us again, and now we've lost a place to Verstappen. That's all too much like Mexico in the last corner there, as the Red Bull's gone past me after I've got an unsettled car after a bit of contact there with another car in front of me. So that was a little bit untowardy, but Rosberg tries to make a move now on Verstappen for 2nd place to regain that place through the swooping right-hander. We'll try our best to close up on him. Have a bit of an issue there on the mid-corner, trying to get the traction down, but we'll try and close up on Rosberg right up his gearbox as we go into that chicane. But we've got Ricciardo for company company, and we have lost the back end. That is definitely not going to help us. Look at that, soaring away at the wheel there, left and right to try and control the car. And now Ricciardo and Van Dorn will be right behind us, and it's Van Dorn on lap 6. That's right behind us. So a few laps later, and Van Dorn's managed to stick it past Ricciardo, and now he'll get right on the back of me. Slipstream aggressively going into the old turn 1 through Copse. We'll stick it around the outside, get on the curb a little bit, and we'll just manage to hang it round for 4th place, thankfully. So some nice racing there with me and Van Dorn, and by lap 7, my tyres are shot, so it's time to come into the pits. Ricciardo right up my gearbox there. He continues on. It looks like Van Dorn is going to come into the pits with us. So on lap 7, our tyres are shot. It looks like my teammate there as well, Pascal Wehrlein. So that's a little bit disappointing that we're going to have to double stack here. So hopefully there's enough of a gap that Wehrlein doesn't get held up too much. But to be honest, my tyres were shot. I'm the lead driver in that race, and oh, look at that. As smooth as you want. So I didn't actually hold up Pascal. I thought I might have held him up quite badly, but look at that. That was smooth as you want. Literally, I exited and Pascal came straight in, but I was the lead car, so I just made that call. My tyres were gone, so I didn't want to go one more lap at all, even if I wasn't meant to come in that lap. So now we come to lap 10. You can see overcast conditions at the moment. So as I said at the beginning of the Grand Prix, perhaps some rain to come later on. At the moment, we're in 2nd place. Rosberg's in the lead of this Grand Prix. I have no idea where Vettel's gone. We've got the McLaren of Hamilton going round the outside of us on the right-hander. He's going to try and make it, and he's actually made it work there. We're going to have to stick in behind him. Can we maybe make a move with the chicane? No, we think better of it. Not enough room there to make the same move we sort of tried to make on Rosberg earlier on in the Grand Prix. We'll stick behind him through the final corner. Ricciardo is right behind us there for some company. We're going to stay with Hamilton, though, with some slipstream. Going on to lap 11 through turn 1. Can we gain some time? Yes, we have. Oh, my God. Hamilton brake checking me through the middle of that corner, having to slam on the brakes through turn 1, which you usually don't really do. You either lift off or pretty much go flat in just one lower gear, but Hamilton testing me a little bit there, so glad I was able to kind of catch that quite early. That could have been quite a nasty slam into the back of him, and then that wouldn't have been very good for either of us. So now Ricciardo right behind us with some slipstream. He's going to have DRS. I'll have DRS from Hamilton, but Ricciardo will stick down the inside. That much improved Red Bull engine goes against us as we go through Luffield. Ricciardo tries to swoop right around the outside. We bang tyres a little bit. I'm going to try the best to keep the traction. Ricciardo's got it a little bit better off the exit of Luffield, and he gets ahead of us, but can we get back in the slipstream? We've got Van Dorn for company as well, so it's all kicking off right now in the 2nd stint. We try something down the inside of Ricciardo, but it's no use, and we go wide there on the exit of Copse, and Van Dorn will now have a look at us. He darts around, but it's not going to be any use right now through Maggots, then Beckett's. Can we close up on Ricciardo perhaps? But look at the traction and the grip that Ricciardo's got through that section. The Red Bull chassis working an absolute treat. He'll have DRS, I will as well, but just look at this. The Red Bull power so far this season, awesome stuff. Gets right past Hamilton. We're going to try a cheeky dive bomb down the inside of Hamilton. He has no idea it's going to happen. We bang tyres, we bang again, we lose the back end of the car. We collision with Hamilton. That's fair enough there, FIA. We've now hit the back of Van Dorn, as Van Dorn's not really clocked how much space he needs to leave there, and we've just about survived that in P4, but that went all a bit wayward there. Just again, sort of like Hungary, just getting very eager to try and overtake Hamilton there, as I saw maybe the opportunity. He was caught napping as he got overtaken by Ricciardo. On the very next lap, lap 12, you can see we're in rich mix right now, pushing hard to try and re-overtake Hamilton and get back up into what will be a podium position at the moment. Slipstream, DRS on the right-hand side. This should be a clean pass, but let's see and keep an eye on the mirrors. We go down to standard mix, we make the brake zone, and we're up into 3rd place. No harm done, and we got that move in before the brake zone entered. So now we're on to lap 13 now, through down towards Luffield. Once again, Hamilton, like he was at the beginning of the Grand Prix, slipstreams. This time he does have DRS. We put it up into rich mix, probably a little bit too late to be honest for that, and Hamilton squeezes wide into the entry to the left to make sure he gets a good run through Luffield, and it's worked out for him because he's got it just before Luffield, and we're having to try and look behind us now because we've got his teammate Van Dorn sniffing around the back. So Hamilton, very aggressive move there, but that's fair enough. But now we go through Maggots and Beckett's, trying to close up on him once again. Can we try and make a similar move like the one we made last lap on him and get him cleanly before we even have to start braking? This time we move to the left-hand side of the circuit with the DRS. We've still got rich mix going on, and we're back up to 3rd place once again before we even start braking. You can see in the mirrors there, I think Van Dorn and Hamilton, as they switch places in the top left there on the standings, they're having a fight, so that should help us a little bit. On to lap 14, Van Dorn is now ahead of Hamilton, and now he's ahead of me as he goes down the inside with DRS. We're going to try our best to fight back. We'll try and hang it around the outside, and Van Dorn just about leaves me enough room. We have to take to the curbing a little bit, but we just get ahead in third place. We've locked up a little bit. We'll go a little bit wide. That's fine. And now we cut two laps later. Lap 15 now towards Luffield. We're back up into Rich Mix. Van Dorn will be on the right. I'll move to the inside of the track. Can we try and keep this on the inside, which will turn to the outside of Luffield, taking a lot of curbing to make sure we give enough room to Van Dorn. He's still there, so he's still going to try his best. He tries to squeeze me out like I did on Hamilton. We get some good traction, millimeters in it there on the right-hand side between me and Stoffel. And you can see, I think there's a bit of spray on the camera, so I think rain is starting to come down as it all comes to a head right now at the British Grand Prix. We go down the inside of Van Dorn. He completely loses all sense of grip there through Copse, and we're back up to, I think this will be third place. But my word, what a Grand Prix this has been so far. But look at this. Look at the rain on the top of the chassis. The streaks of rain coming down. It's starting to rain and our tyres are going off. But we're going to keep it one more lap. Lap 16 now. We've gone one more lap than we were on the previous one. And now it is far too damp. We have to come in for the intermediate tyres. I believe me and I think it was Stoffel continued on. I think a few people came in that one lap before on lap 15 for the intermediate tyres. But personally, I thought it was maybe a little bit too early. And we stuck it out one more lap. So now lap 16 will come in for those green wall intermediate tyres. There's Daniel Ricciardo, I believe that was, or maybe Verstappen in the Red Bull ahead of us. And there's Van Dorn. There's a little bit of a glitch there in replay cameras as our tyres stay there. But anyway, we're on the green wall tyres now, intermediate conditions. And let's see, there might be some more rain to fall, so we might have to come in quite shortly for another set of those blue wall tyres, obviously, the wet wall tyres. We have to see. But that's Van Dorn right behind us as we come out of the pit, and a Williams there coming down the pit lane. So we're not seeing much of the Williams in this race. They were quite off the pace in qualifying, so it looks like they're sort of close to us. But we come out of the pits. We're going to cut later on to lap 17 straight away, and we're coming through, you can see, very gingerly through the final corner here. And we've only, this is basically our outlap. We're finishing our outlap on the intermediates, and the intermediates are actually feeling very, very, very tentative at the moment, so we might have to come in for wet. There's a yellow flag as we go into turn 1. I wonder what's that for. Full yellows, and there's some cars up ahead. We can see it's Ricciardo. Ricciardo's had an issue there with Palmer, perhaps, and now we completely go wide off the circuit as I'm sort of so kind of caught up with looking at Palmer and Ricciardo and what was happening with them. And Van Dorn's going to try his best to stick with me right up my gearbox, but that was Ricciardo having some issues there on the intermediate conditions. I wonder if he crashed into Palmer. That probably is what happened there. But later on in the lap, it's getting far too wet. We have to come in for the full wet tyres. So literally that was 2 laps on the intermediate tyres, and then it's time to come into the full wets. Just typical old England. When it rains, it just rains hard like cats and dogs. So we come in again for another pit stop, and we're coming on for the blue wall tyres this time, the full wets. Van Dorn will come in, Palmer as well, and I'm suspecting that Red Bull of Ricciardo as well. But here we come. Hopefully the guys won't muck up the pit stop. Hopefully the McLaren guys won't make a beastly one, and we'll stay ahead of Van Dorn. Yes, we will. So this is, I'm not actually too sure. This will be third place in the Grand Prix net, or maybe even actually it might be second, because Ricciardo was second actually. So this will be for net second place at the moment. So at the moment, I believe it is, in the grand scheme of things, Rosberg in first place, myself second, and Van Dorn third. And then I'm not too sure if Ricciardo's going to stay in fourth, or it might be Hamilton. I'm not too sure about that. And still, after all this, I don't actually have any idea what happened to Sebastian Vettel. I think he may have had some sort of engine failure or something like that. He just kind of blinked out of the Grand Prix. But on lap 23 right now, a few laps later, we've been out on the wet tyres, and Van Dorn is trying to overtake me now to take this second place away from me. He goes down to the inside. He's going to try and squeeze me out. He's done well. I've gone really too deep into that corner, and that means Van Dorn, look at that, he's already got the place, and I don't even have a chance to try and attack him into Luffield down the inside, so he's cleanly passed us there for second place. But we'll try and slipstream him. Remember, going into Copse, we've made so many moves here in this Grand Prix, so I'm really confident. We're going down 2 gears into 5th gear actually, and we get some beautiful traction right now. Van Dorn gets a bit on the curb. That might affect him a little bit. We move to the left-hand side, try and overtake him into Maggots and Beckett's. There's a car. It's Rosberg. Rosberg! That has actually just happened. That is actually just... What a twat Rosberg is. I don't know what he was doing. He was faffing around with a Renault or something, or whatever car it was. Rosberg there, parking it in the middle of the apex, from off on the left in the grass, coming across the apex. What a twat. We've got no front wing. I don't know about Van Dorn. We're going to see here, but this is the replay. So he comes through Copse. At this point, we get some beautiful traction here. We move to the left-hand side of the circuit. We're going side by side. Beautiful little move here. And then Rosberg coming out of nowhere on the left. And Van Dorn comes out that with no damage. No damage at all. And this is Rosberg. Okay, let's look at this. So it was a Manor-car, sorry, not a Renault. It was a Manor-car. Rosberg's got no front wing already. I don't know quite why. He probably crashed with the Manor-car, I'm guessing. But Rosberg coming across, no front wing, into Magnussen Beckett's. What is he trying to do? What is he trying to accomplish? He goes cleanly off, turns right back onto the circuit. What does he think was going to happen there? There was cars racing behind him, and he just comes through and just waltzes on. Look at the collision that me and Van Dorn had. Van Dorn got chucked up into the air and somehow lost no front wing from that. So Stoffel just got the luckiest piece of action ever. He's in first place in the Grand Prix right now. He's probably, you might as well write him off. He's got the Grand Prix win in the bag right now. And that's Bottas out of nowhere. I said the Williams were already off the pace in qualifying before. Bottas out of nowhere now in second place. He was behind us, so he was there for the taking. You know, he just waited out and, yeah, we crashed and he just taken the goods. So he's into second place. We're now in third place at the moment on the wet tyres, but I don't think that's going to last long because Hamilton and Wehrlein are both through. So on lap 24 right now, we're in fifth place at the moment. Sainz is behind us. And at the moment, you can see it's visibly a lot lighter. And what's actually happened is the track has actually dried out a little bit more. The rain slowed down. Hamilton and Wehrlein are both in the pit stops right now for intermediate tyres. And I'm sticking out on the wets. We've got 2 laps left, including this one. At this point, I thought, you know what, fuck it. We're just going to have to, excuse my language, but we're just going to have to stick it out on the wet tyres. We'll try and do a Hamilton at Monaco, see how it goes, because I'm going to lose way too much time now faffing around, getting around this lap, and then pitting again for the intermediates. Meanwhile, look who's coming round all confident. Rosberg here, right behind us, and he's on the intermediate tyres. His team informed him that he was drying out. He went into the intermediate tyres straight after that collision there on the end of lap 24, and he's got past me, and this is just taking the piss. Rosberg crashes us out, crashes our front wing off, and he's now ahead of us still. And we got a penalty for that. We got a penalty for colliding with Rosberg. And I'm sorry, I just can't see how that was my fault. I went a little bit deep into maggots, but that was because I was leaving Van Dorn room. And then at the last minute, I see a Ferrari, a red car, coming out of nowhere from the grass, comes across the apex, and I smash into him. I can't do anything. I'm going at, like, you know, 6th gear, like 140 miles per hour. I can't physically stop my car anymore going into that section. You know, Magnussen Beckett, such a fast-flowing section. Rosberg should have parked up, and after all of this, we're going to come home in 4th place. Thankfully, I've been able to hold these wet tyres on intermediate conditions for 4th place here. Wehrlein's going to be 5th. Hamilton's going to be 6th, but remember, we've got a penalty, so it's probably not even going to be 4th. Van Dorn wins the Grand Prix. He wins the British Grand Prix. Well done to him, I guess. He's got very, very lucky, though. Very, very lucky. We come home in what will be not even 4th place. I don't know. We'll have to see what it is at the end of it. It's probably going to be 6th, but that is such a disappointing end to what was a pretty okay and fantastic home Grand Prix. We were going to get into 2nd. It would have been 1st if Rosberg didn't ruin it and everything, but there you go. There you go. Confirmation. It is 6th place. What an absolute piss take. What a piss take there. So the podium ends up being Van Dorn, Bottas and Rosberg. Wehrlein is up into 4th now. Hamilton 5th. Myself in 6th place with a penalty. Carlos Sainz doing brilliantly to get 7th. And there's Vettel. Didn't retire. He just got a penalty and had a bit of a bad race because he made 5 pit stops compared to most people's 4. So Vettel not out of the race completely. So that was my bad earlier on. But he wasn't exactly, you know, that's not exactly where he wanted to end up because he was in 1st place for pretty much the entire first stint. So Vettel, poor luck again in 8th place there. Magnussen getting points for Lotus there in 9th place. Magnussen getting points there for Renault in 9th place. Sergio Perez comes home in the last points paying position for Force India in 10th place. Ricciardo, bad day in the office. He was in the heights of 2nd place at one point, but he had that crash with Palmer, so he finishes out of the points. But what a very controversial Grand Prix, I feel. Rosberg getting a penalty. So it looks like the FIA gave both of us a penalty. Or maybe Rosberg had that penalty before for crashing with one of the Manor cars. But Rosberg, even though he was that stupid, he still ended up on the podium. I just don't think that's justice. I just don't think that is. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I've been aarava. If you did enjoy that episode nonetheless, apart from the crash, I mean, there was some thrilling racing there. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed that. Smash that like button. Let me know what you thought about all of it in the comments below. New around here, then do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been aarava. I'll leave you with my post-race interviews. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Well, that must be quite disappointing for you, and I'm sure it's all still settling in, but can you tell us how you're feeling right now?
Don't really know, really, to be honest. Just severely gutted, and I'm just a bit pissed off as well. I don't know what Nico was doing out there today, and I don't know what he was trying. He had no front wing, and he just parks it on the apex, and yeah, I'm sorry, I just don't have any words really. I think that's just a huge shame, especially at the home Grand Prix. I don't really have any words for it. It all went so fast at the accident, and we couldn't do much after that. I made the wrong call on the tires. I couldn't really see the rain drying out that fast, and it did. And then it hurts even more to see him then overtake me after. So
apart from the end, the rest of the race looked good for you guys. So any positives there?
No, I can't. It's just there's no positives for me today. It's just a shame, you know, home Grand Prix, and it's one to completely forget. I definitely can't think of any positives to take away, to be honest. Everything up to that point, after that crash, was just completely wiped out, really. So, nah, not really. Just looking forward to the next race, reset, try and see what we can do. It's looking pretty grim right now.
And finally, do you think you can get those lost points to Van Dorn back in later round?
To be honest, I'm not very confident at the moment. Obviously, we'll try our best. We'll fight back, but it could be tough. And you know, not taking away from him, but the kid just keeps getting some really good luck out there. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So I just don't know, to be honest. I just want to go away from this weekend, forget about it, reset a little bit, and we'll come back and try and fight back as much as we can in Italy. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for me. So
all right, thanks for your time.